So we're ready to get started here with the inductions now for the Pioneers and Legends. We induct into two categories, the Pioneers being those folks that didn't directly race, but everything else that encompasses the sport, and the Legends being the race car drivers. Every inductee gets a chance to give a speech, and they also have one or more individuals that give them their introduction and share some stories as well. So if this is your first time here, that's a little bit about how the program will work. We'll go back and forth between the Pioneers and the Legends all the way through the 10 inductees that you see on the stage with us here tonight. Now we'll recognize our third inductee this evening. Back in the Pioneer category, the individual, Carl Sifferman and Kevin Fletcher, will come forward now to say a few words.
Well, I know why I'm invited to induct him, and I'm glad because he's a great guy. And, he's a valuable part of the Pioneers. And, he's been around in a lot of ways for many years. 4 years ago, he started working in a little shop called Best Build here in Springfield. Well, you know about it. About 10 years later, though, he felt he had enough knowledge to start his own shop. And that's when he started out on his own, and he did good. His business began with the addition of another partner he had, and eventually making up to 5 employees. He felt good. I mean, as a small business owner, it was good. But a few years later, Powertrain Industries began, and they wanted his shop. They wanted his knowledge, and so they hired him. Right now, Powertrain Industries, they've got 22 full-time employees, and they do a great job filling contracts every day for Dorman Products and many local limousine builders. And it's not just the building of drivetrains. I mean, Carl has done a lot, especially to the racing industry. Show Me Racing Series, you heard about Kenny Essary, the MLRA, Mars, Cash Money, Wayne Grable has benefited a lot, Dean Hoover, and many, many racing drivers, a lot more, has all received sponsorship one way or the other from Carl Sifferman and the driveline shop. Not to mention, if you was at the banquet today, at the luncheon, that great meal that you had, that's been provided for the last 20 years, courtesy of Carl Sifferman. His dad and him got involved in that years ago, about 20 years ago, and they wanted to give back to the racing community. And their way of doing so was providing that luncheon. I wish you'd give them a round of applause for that, nothing else. Carl, good job. Welcome to the class of 2019, as well as the other great people here tonight. And why don't you come up here and talk a little bit for them.
Thank you, Kevin. Well, I have to admit, I feel like I'm getting honored for buying a lot of dinners for a lot of people. But that said, when they called me, Rick Sharp come by the shop and says, hey, we're going to put you in the Hall of Fame this year. Oh, good grief, what have I ever done to that? And then that was my question to myself, at least in the beginning, and still. They had the ceremony with the unveiling of the monument out at the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, and we were all invited to that. I went to that, and some people took pictures, and my wife put them on Facebook. And congratulations for being inducted into the Ozark Racers Hall of Fame. And I had a cousin of mine put on her, gets on Facebook and says, what'd you ever do for racing? And I'll have to admit, I was just a little offended by it. Kind of had a little bit of a, well, if you don't know, what you had to do with racing. But anyway, and since then I've thought about this a lot. And I've had a lot of nice people say nice things about me up here, Randy Mooneyham. Ken Essary has always come hit me up, at least for something, but it was always flattering. I built a lot of drive shafts for a lot of people over a lot of years now. So I guess I'm an expert at it. I've done something long enough, I know everything about nothing. But I've come to accept the idea that maybe I do deserve a certain amount of something. I was talking to someone earlier today and realized what they said about themselves is true for me as well, and it's that all I've really ever done is had this drive shaft thing, and it's been me since 1989, and we've given away a lot of drive shafts, and we've built a lot of drive shafts, and it's always been fun, and it's always been exactly what I wanted to do. And I guess if I could make my living, know all these fine people building drive shafts, however simple that may sound, then I like it. It's been really good. It's been a really good living. It's been a really good time. And it's really good to know all of you. And I'm started where I should have started with it. My first job was at a place called Hardy's Truck Parts in the middle 70s. It was kind of the TRW distributor for the area. I met Corky Wynn, Kenny Essary. Leslie, you weren't old enough. Mooneyham, Les Freebie, bought a bunch of parts there. Claude Higby bought parts there. The Ropers came out and bought parts there. Don Cordalis. A lot of the people that were the beginning inductees and stuff, and that were the airport, the speedway out here at Fairgrounds in the 70s, were all customers there, and that's really where I got to know them. And once I had my own shop, it was an honor to be able to help some of those people out. It really was. It just seemed like the thing to do. So I appreciate it. It is a very humbling honor, and I very much appreciate being inducted. So thank you.